Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Ferris West Central Concert Band's 22nd annual Veterans Day Concert. I'm Dave Schrock, your announcer for today. Our concert today is in honor of our community's veterans who have dutifully served our country throughout the 249 years of our nation's history. The FSU West Central Concert Band is under the direction of Ferris State University's new instructor of jazz and concert bands, Micah Laird. And today we are delighted to feature the following guest individuals. Speakers, Ferris State University's Dr. Logan Jones, Commander Jake Reichert, and Bruce Regis. We're also proud to have returning to participate in our program today, the Ferris Veterans Student Association, which will be performing the honored guest ceremony in memory of our POWs and MIAs, accompanied by bagpiper Steve Wininger. The Old Jail Quilters of Big Rapids, who will be making Quilts of Valor presentation today, and members of the Michigan Warrior Clowns, formerly known as Clown Vets, who have been supporting PTSD veterans in our community for much of the past decade. And now we are pleased to introduce the Big Rapids American Legion Post 98 Honor Guard. Will you all please rise for their presentation of the colors?
Detail. Attention. Hood. Advance the colors. Post. Post. Colors. Adjust.
Please remain standing for our national anthem. Its original melody was a popular party song in England and the American colonies back in the 1700s. Its lyrics were later penned by American attorney Francis Scott Key during the War of 1812, before becoming our official national anthem in 1931. So now please join the FSU West Central Concert Band under the direction of Micah Laird in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Thank you. Please be seated. Our thanks to the members of the American Legion Post 98 Honor Guard for our opening ceremonies. And now it's off to our concert. Hugh Stewart is a celebrated educator and composer of wind band literature, having written over 100 published works. Composed in 1969, Three Eyres for Gloucester is one of Hugh M. Stewart's most beloved works for concert band. Inspired by the character and charm of 16th century English folk music, the second movement, Eyre for Eventide, offers a moment of serene lyricism and reflection between the more spirited outer movements. Marked by flowing melodic lines and rich pastoral harmonies, Eyre for Eventide evokes the peaceful atmosphere of an evening in the countryside. Stewart's writing captures a timeless sense of calm and beauty, combining Renaissance-style melodic grace with the expressive warmth of modern wind band sonorities. The piece showcases the ensemble's ability to blend tone, shape, long phrases, and create a unified, contemplative sound, a hallmark of Stewart's artistically satisfying style. Please enjoy Eyre for Eventide by Hugh Stewart. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker of the afternoon, Dr. Logan Jones. J. Logan Jones, PhD, is the Interim Associate Provost for Academic Operations and the Dean for the College of Business at Ferris State University, FSU, located in Big Rapids, Michigan. The College of Business at FSU offers several academic programs in business, technology, criminal justice, and digital media. The college also consists of several non-academic centers of excellence, the FSU Law Enforcement Academy and Army ROTC. Previously, Dr. Jones was the Dean of College of Business and Professional Studies at Missouri Western State University, MWSU, located in St. Joseph, Missouri. The College of Business and Professional Studies at MWSU included similar academic programming, Law Enforcement Academy and Army ROTC. Before working as the academic dean, Dr. Jones taught as a management faculty member after completing his doctorate in business administration and management at the University of Mississippi. Additionally, he received an MBA and a BSBA in management from Arkansas State University. His research focused on employee motivation, such as work engagement, leadership, incentive structures, also employee leadership and counterproductive work behaviors. Before entering higher education, he worked in several diverse careers, ranging from municipal law enforcement to the United States Army. While working at the as a municipal police officer, he had the honor of working in different roles, such as patrol officer, SWAT team member, and field training officer. His time in the United States Army and Army Reserve ranged from enlisted roles as combat engineer, 12B, and airborne infantryman, 11B. Overall, Dr. Jones has over 20 years in a variety of leadership roles. He is married with 3 grown children and lives in Canadian Lakes, Michigan. Ferris State University's own Dr. Logan Jones.
Good afternoon. It's great seeing everyone. I'm glad we got good weather for everyone to get here and a little bit of construction to make it hard to figure out how to get into the auditorium. First, I guess, a couple of apologies. First would be that I didn't realize they were going to read that short bio out loud, or I would have probably submitted a smaller bio because I don't think my remarks are as long as what he read. The reality is the second apology is from the provost. I know he likes to attend and speak here. He had a conflict, and I was the second choice. But in that, it makes sense because I do work in the provost's office now, at least as an interim. The second reason is that I am, as mentioned, a veteran. I didn't start in higher education. Far from it. So I can say I did go to college after high school, and I signed up for classes. I didn't actually go because I flunked out in the first semester, and there was never a second semester for me. So my choices were pretty clear. Work on a farm, the family farm, I could work in a factory, or I could go into the United States Army. The reason it wasn't the military is because my family had a long history in the United States Army and serving. So there really wasn't another choice. I couldn't pick another branch. I do have one first cousin that served in the Navy, but he makes odd decisions, and we still love him for it. No offense to the sailors in the audience. But the reality is that, service has always been a big part of my life, and it's a big part of Ferris. It's a big part of the reason, we're honored to host this concert and to have it every year because, whether it is, as was mentioned, serving in the military in my first career or serving in law enforcement in my second career, and even today serving the community and students in the current career, what I learned as a veteran in my time in the military, I use it every day. I beyond the things people normally talk about, which is, discipline, leadership, I also learned how to get things done when I was hot and cold and tired and hungry, to work around people that I at times didn't care for and at other times I loved just like my own family. But the reality is, as you move through that process and move through there, it just becomes part of you. And I know it's part of a lot of people in this room. It was 20 years ago for me. It was 2005 was my last year of service in the military. And I can tell you to this day, I still have dreams about being late for formation or figuring out where my patrol cap is or if I'm going to pass a PT test. And it's been 2 decades since I had to worry about any of that. But the reality is as I mentioned, it's a big part of who I am. It's a big part of a lot of you in the room. And while I've never been a big fan of, thank you for your service, because typically when someone does that to me, we end up in this weird loop where I thank them for thanking me for my service, and then they thank me for thanking them for thanking, and you can't break loose from that. So what I will say, and what I've always kind of preferred is, thank you for choosing to serve, because that's how I've described it to people, is that The only thing I really controlled was choosing to enlist. Beyond that, as soon as I got my head shaved and took away all my civilian things and gave me a bunch of green stuff in a bag and I stepped onto a cattle car, I realized I'm not in control of this anymore. Like they're in control of this, and I got to do my job, and I got to do what's expected of me. The wonderful thing is that you learn to do that when you don't want to, and that's the discipline piece. But all of that, again, I use to this day. I've been very blessed in the idea of both of my deanships, so here and at Missouri Western. I've been able to relive a little of my days in the Army with with Army ROTC being at both in the College of Business at both institutions. I enjoy it. I enjoy interacting there. We're very supportive and seeing a lot of growth here and seeing a thriving program here at Ferris and our ROTC program. So I get to live a little bit of that through them and get to tell a few stories that people understand. But for the most part, people don't understand the stories. It's a lot nicer just to, again, thank people for choosing to serve, for serving their country, for serving the people around them is largely what you do it for. But it was very nice to be asked to come speak to all of you. And if there's anything I've learned as an administrator in higher education is you don't get between a crowd of people and something that they want to see or hear just because I have the right to. So I'm going to stop talking and say once again, welcome to Ferris. Thank you for coming, and thank you for all the service in the room from our veterans and our military-connected families. Thank you.
The WCCB now returns with an exciting piece of music by American composer Frank Ticheli. The Shenandoah Valley and the Shenandoah River are located in Virginia. The origin for this name, for this river and valley, is obscure. The origins of the folk song are equally obscure, but all date back to the 19th century. Many variants on the melody and text have been handed down through the years, with the most popular telling of the story of an early settler's love for a Native American woman. The composer writes, quote, "In my setting of Shenandoah, I was inspired by the freedom and beauty of the folk melody and by the natural images evoked by the words, especially the image of a river. I was less concerned with the sound of a rolling river than with its life-affirming energy, its timelessness. Sometimes the accompaniment flows quietly under the melody, other times it breathes alongside it. The work's mood ranges from quiet reflection through growing optimism to profound exaltation. These themes of love, longing, peace, and home are deeply rooted in American folk music. This is a primary reason that this storied tune has been beloved by so many for so long. Today, we tell a different story with this music, the story of Major Sullivan Ballou on the eve of battle during the American Civil War. Here's Frank Ticheli's Shenandoah, accompanied by the words of Major Sullivan Ballou in his last letter to his loving wife, Sarah. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest Veterans Day speaker, Commander Jake Reichert. Gunnery Sergeant Jake Reichert honorably served 20 years in the United States Marine Corps from 1998 to 2018. A native of Big Rapids, Michigan, he enlisted in 1998 and was first stationed at Camp Pendleton, California. In 2001, then Corporal Reichert participated in Task Force 58's landing operations in Pakistan and Afghanistan at Camp Rhino, which later became part of Operation Enduring Freedom. In 2008, as Staff Sergeant, he oversaw cargo operations and humanitarian relief efforts during Operation Caring Response, delivering more than 1 million pounds of supplies to the people of Burma. The following year, Staff Sergeant Reichert returned to Afghanistan, serving as the staff non-commissioned officer in charge of aerial delivery and the Arrival Departure Airfield Control Group. In this role, he coordinated over 3 million pounds of supplies and equipment via parachute drops and improved cargo and personnel throughput by 300% across the battlefield. In 2010, he was selected as the Enlisted Logistics Marine of the Year for the entire Marine Corps, recognizing his exceptional leadership and logistical expertise. Promoted to Gunnery Sergeant in 2013, he continued to serve with distinction until his retirement in 2018. Throughout his career, Gunnery Sergeant Reichert was stationed at Camp Pendleton, California, Okinawa, Japan, and Quantico, Virginia. His deployments included 2 Western Pacific tours and 2 combat tours in Pakistan and Afghanistan. His many achievements include service as an infantry team leader, parachutist, jump master, paraloft chief, project officer, and expeditionary logistics instructor. Today, Gunnery Sergeant Reichert continues to serve his community as commander of AMVETS Post 1941 and District 5 commander. In recognition of his leadership and dedication to veterans, he was named the 2025 AMVETS Post Commander of the Year for the state of Michigan. Welcome, Commander Jake Reichert.
Thank you, everybody. First thing on the list is Mark Brecka, the commander, said, do it from the heart, so that's what we're going to do. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to come speak here and just to be asked. But as a percussionist, thank you to you guys. I really appreciate it, taking us away from the world a little bit with your awesome renditions of these songs. So thank you very much to you guys out here. It's an honor and a privilege to be here with, we got the big lights on and I can't really see them, but I know they're all out there. All of these veterans that came here before me and before Matt Mazinski that's out there, part of our honor guard too, all that stuff you heard in the bio could never be done without the veterans that are sitting in the audience here and paving the way for people like me and Matt in our service and our time. Matt and I definitely stand on the shoulders of you giants that are out there. We had our dinner last night, all services, military, veteran, and families. We always love to include the families because of their sacrifice too. And, it's amazing being the post commander, and I still have World War II veterans. He's a World War II veteran and a Vietnam veteran all in one. It's amazing. That's Mr. Norton, and then we had Korean War veterans and our Vietnam veterans, and a lot of this history is slowly going away. It's kind of bittersweet being a post commander. You get to meet all these people, and then sometimes they have to move on. Just like our own chaplain, Dave Thorson, just recently passed away. The people that I meet there and their families, we've changed the narrative in. Some people hear AMVETS and the American Legion and they get a negative thought. Not here in Big Rapids. We have changed that with the officers of the AMVETS and the American Legion. It is a multi-generational, family-oriented post. And we do not get paid. The officers do not get paid. It is a nonprofit place, and we have a canteen here, there that keeps the lights on and all that stuff. But we don't get paid. And I take it very seriously because my time, people ask me, how do you have the time for that? How do you have the energy? I base it off of sacrifice because of you all that came before me. I can never repay you for what you've done for us. So I sacrifice my time for you and your families so you can come in and get away from the world, kind of like what we're doing here today. When the band's playing, that music takes you away. When you come into that post, you're able to get away from the world a little bit. Maybe it's therapy for some people. Maybe it's just, a place to get away, and that's what we wanted. We've rebuilt the post. We've done a lot of great things. Donations by great people and everything, and we also go out in the community. We've even been asked by the city of Big Rapids to help a veteran out, and we cleaned up his outside. That's what we do. We take care of the veterans, we take care of each other, we take care of their families too. We have a veterans relief program that people donate to that doesn't get touched unless we help veterans get to medical appointments because they need gas money or all these things, to help out with wheelchair ramps. We've done ramps, 3 aluminum ramps, wooden ramps, some for our own officers. It's our way to give back, and there are some younger veterans out there. We'd love to get them in and everything. We'd love to recruit them in. But like I said, without these World War II and Korea and, even Beirut, all that stuff, the Cold War, everything, Vietnam veterans, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, without them, I'm not up here. And so my time and sometimes money, sacrifice, that goes to all of these people that came before me. People like me and Matt Mazinski, we have to keep your legacies alive, because somebody will do that for us later on. But your legacies are what helped build this town when you all came back. Even my own grandfather was a World War II vet, came back, and he was a stonemason. And those white stones that are out there in Ferris, holding those walls up, he built. So it is an honor and privilege to be here with you guys. Thank you, band. I really appreciate it. And I won't be long-winded because I know who's coming up later on after me, Mr. Regis. So, that's right, Dr. Kane, I heard you back there. Everybody, thank you so much, and thank you for supporting the AMVETS and the veterans in this town. I would love to see you all. I'm the coordinator for the Veterans Day Parade. We'd love to see you out there, and if you still want to be a part of the parade, just come on down at 9 in the morning by the library and come jump in the parade with us. Thank you very much.
The WCCB now returns with music commemorating veterans of the 20th century. In 1926, patriotic citizens noted the deterioration of the historic old frigate, the USS Constitution, the world's oldest commissioned ship still afloat, better known as Old Ironsides, and waged a vigorous campaign to have it restored. At a rally held in Madison Square Garden, enough money was raised to ensure success of the movement. For that occasion, Sousa composed this march. He led the massed bands of the U.S. Navy, Marine Corps, and Army, but whether the new march was played is not certain. Oddly, the march was never published, and only a manuscript sketch is known to exist until recent arrangements. Please enjoy John Philip Sousa's Old Ironsides March. Our next speaker is Dr. Bruce Regis. Bruce Regis devoted nearly 3 decades to teaching in the Grand Rapids Public Schools, sharing his love of art and learning with students from kindergarten through 12th grade. A proud U.S. Army veteran, he served our nation for 30 years in roles ranging from combat medic to hospital first sergeant, earning the Meritorious Service Medal for his leadership during his deployment to Iraq. While overseas, Dr. Regis co-founded Peace Through Puppets, a remarkable project that helps soldiers connect with and comfort war-traumatized children through the power of creativity and compassion. His work earned him a humanitarian medal from the Puppeteers of America, and he continues to share that mission around the world, most recently in Warsaw, Poland, helping refugee children find hope and healing. Dr. Regis has also served as an ROTC instructor and adjunct professor at Ferris State University. He holds degrees from Grand Valley and earned his PhD in interdisciplinary studies from Union Institute and University. Bruce will be accompanied by the Michigan Warrior Clowns, an organization that he himself has been a part of. Established in 2015, the Michigan Warrior Clowns promote the healing of suffering of American and Canadian war veterans by doing humanitarian clowning for other traumatized people. Please turn your attention toward the screen above for a short video showcasing the community and impact the Warrior Clowns as they spread joy at Captain Lowell, Virginia Hospital.
There is a great history of expressive therapy, and you all know throughout history and in all courts there have been jesters. We know, and science and research has shown since the 1940s, that expressive therapy works.
And now please welcome Speaker Bruce Regis and the Michigan Warrior Clowns.
Good afternoon. I want to preface what I'm going to say. Oh, first of all, let's have the Warrior Clowns come up, please. All right, allow me to introduce the Warrior Clowns. We are a select group of people that try and most of the time succeed in spreading a lot of joy and happiness with people who sometimes do not have a whole lot of it in their lifetime. I want to tell you about clowns for a second. In Native American society, clowns are a sacred position in the society that they belong to. When clowns bring home ideas and thoughts that normally can't be said to a leader. Does that make sense? In other words, clowns can say something. That's what in England they have a jester. He can say something to the king that others can't. Whereas in Native American society, sacred clowns help the tribe, help the people that they belong to become better people by laughing, bringing joy, and also being symbolic messengers. I was fortunate enough in my career that I spent a lot of time, I want to say, with some clowns. But in reality, they were all soldiers, and I spent 30 years with them and was proud to do it. One of the things that I did when I was deployed to Iraq was to try and find a way so that the civilians that we met were not terrified of us, because we're very good at what we do. And one of the things I came up with was Peace Through Puppets, where I brought puppets with me when we went out on patrols and gave them out to children. Now you can see where puppets and clowning fit very beautifully together, okay? I went to Poland and went to Warsaw and went to a Ukrainian refugee center to meet people who had been driven out of Ukraine by the Russian war. The children that were there are a lot like the children that were in Iraq and anywhere else that suffer from war trauma. One of the things about giving out puppets in that environment is that you break through that trauma for a brief moment. And the children have an opportunity to be children again. When soldiers came back from patrol in Iraq and they'd given out puppets, the first thing they came up to me and said, they were like little children themselves. They said, it's the first time I felt like I did something good here. So when the Warrior Clowns go into action, and you will see them when they go out on the parade, it's a form of uniform that we wear now, like we used to wear. And the point I'm trying to make here is, clowns in the Native American world are social and spiritual teachers. Through their antics, they critique antisocial behavior like greed, selfishness, and gluttony, reinforcing society norms and laws. They also ensure community well-being. But underneath this particular outfit is what? This is my uniform that I wore when I represent you. It also tells a story about my career. When you see these stripes, they open up doors for me. They think I'm an admiral or something like that. And I look at, no, it's just service stripes, 30 years. When people tell me that they thank me for my service, it's very important that I tell them back, thank you for supporting us, because we can't do this service without you. Now, for sometimes I'm just going to tell you, this time of year is difficult for me, just like Memorial Day is. Memorial Day is set aside in our country to remember the soldiers that fell, the airmen, the Navy, the Coast Guard, all of them who fell. Veterans Day is to remind every one of us, which is whoever is a veteran in this room. However, since I lived a lot of time in England, they have what they call Remembrance Day on the 11th of November. Because remember, they were trying to stop the greatest war at that time that had ever happened on this planet. So they were looking for, what time can we stop the killing? And it came out through negotiation that the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, they would stop killing. And trust me, up until that 11th hour, they were throwing artillery rounds back and forth and trying to kill as many people as possible. So what? If you've ever been in England for Remembrance Day, first time I was there, I couldn't believe it. I was living in London, the entire city shut down. So on this 11th of November coming up, I want to kind of coordinate their celebration or their remembrance with ours. Just like Warrior Clowns incorporated puppets. And if you see my friend Pamela giving out puppets, those finger puppets, I'll tell you one last thing about puppets. I had a Warsaw refugee worker ask me, why are you doing this? Why are you bringing these puppets here? And I said, maybe a child can't tell you what happened to them, but a puppet can. And that's very true. It works for adults as well. I'm going to read you something in remembrance of the 11th of November. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. And that's what we do here today by being clowns, by being service members. We remember the ones who fell. And I want to thank you for this opportunity for me to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Forgot your nose, but, you know, it'll be here. Thanks again to Dr. Regis and the Michigan Warrior Clowns. Give them another round of applause. And now, it has been our tradition for over 20 years, we invite all veterans, reservists, and active military personnel in our audience today to stand and be recognized for their service to our country when they hear the anthem representing their branch of service. These military anthems will be presented in the following order. First, and fittingly, we begin with a relatively new anthem of the National Guard. Then we will continue with the anthems from the Army, the Coast Guard, the Marines, the Air Force, and the Navy. We thank our military service members, past and present, for your contributions to our nation. We also thank you for being here to share a musical tribute of Veterans Day with the FSU West Central Concert Band and our audience today. Here's our musical salute to you all. And now, Ferris State University's Student Veterans Association will conduct a solemn ceremony that pays recognition to the memory of American service members of all times and of all generations who are missing from our midst as POWs, prisoners of war, and MIA, missing in action. At the end of the ceremony, bagpiper Steve Wininger will perform Amazing Grace. FSU student veterans and bagpiper Wininger, let your tributes begin.
As you have entered the auditorium today, you may have noticed a small table, place of honor. It is set for one. The table is our way of symbolizing the absence of our comrades, members of our profession of arms, who are missed from our midst. They are commonly called POWs, MIAs, but we call them brothers and sisters. Though they are unable to be with us tonight, we hold them close in our memory. The table is small, set for one, symbolizing the frailty of a lone prisoner standing against oppression. Remember. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of the intentions to answer their country's call to duty. Remember. A single red rose displayed in a vase. A reminder of the family and loved ones of our comrades who keep the faith as we await their return. Remember. The yellow ribbon tied prominently around the vase, reminiscence of the yellow ribbon worn by thousands showing their unyielding determination to seek a full accounting of our missing. Remember. The candle lit bright, symbolizing the upward reach of unconquerable spirit. Remember. A slice of lemon on the bread plate, reminding us the bitter fate. Remember. Salt sprinkled upon the bread plate, symbolizing the tears shed by families as they await. Remember. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us tonight. Remember. The chair is empty. They are not here. Remember. To all who serve with them and call them comrades, who depended on their strength and aid, and who relied on them, remember, they are not forsaking you. Until the day you come home, remember.
Remembering the Remarkables is a contemporary work for wind ensemble by Grace Bauer that honors the courage and perseverance of those who have fought for equality and freedom. Originally drawing inspiration from the early 20th century struggle for women's suffrage, Bauer weaves lyrical themes and moments of powerful dissonance to reflect both the resilience and the hardships faced by those who challenged the boundaries of their time. The piece unfolds as a musical portrait of determination, gentle yet unyielding, personal yet collective. At its core, Remembering the Remarkables serves a broader tribute to all who have sacrificed for justice and liberty. Its expressive melodies and poignant harmonies invite listeners to reflect not only on the suffragettes' fight for voice and recognition, but also on the courage and selflessness of veterans whose service continues the same legacy of defending freedom for all. Help us to remember the remarkable men and women who have served our country. And now we have a very special presentation in conjunction with the Quilts of Valor Foundation. The mission of that foundation is to literally cover service members and veterans touched by war with comforting and healing quilts of valor. The foundation began with a dream that its founder, Catherine Roberts, had in 2003, in which she imagined her son Nat embroiled in the horrors of battle, but also somehow draped in a protective and healing quilt. She quickly heeded her vision, crafted a quilt, and made the first Quilt of Valor presentation to a young soldier from Minnesota who had lost his leg in Iraq. Since then, there have been over 400,000 quilts awarded to service members and veterans across the country. Locally, the Old Jail Quilters of Big Rapids have been awarding Quilts of Valor in our area for many years, including our annual Veterans Day concerts. So now, Nisia Arnson and Terry Cook will award today's Quilts of Valor. Please join me in welcoming them to our musical ceremony.
Hello, we are so happy to be here. Today we have 3 veterans who will be receiving quilts, and I would ask them to come join us on stage. As mentioned, we are here representing the Old Jail Quilters, which is the local chapter of the Quilts of Valor. You can come up and stuff. Our chapter has awarded over 400 quilts in the local area. I would like you all to know that a Quilt of Valor is a civilian award representing the thankfulness of a grateful nation. We truly are the land of the free because of the brave. Steve Winmeyer. This quilt was made for you out of appreciation, admiration, and respect for your service to our country. With heroes such as yourself, America will continue to be the best in the world. We salute you and hope this quilt brings you comfort and cheer when you need it. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. Frank Hartley. This quilt was made for you out of appreciation, admiration, and respect for your service to our country. With heroes such as yourself, America will continue to be the best in the world. We salute you and hope this quilt brings you comfort and cheer when you need it. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. Arthur Visser. This quilt was made for you out of appreciation, admiration, and respect for your service to our country. With heroes such as yourself, America will continue to be the best in the world. We salute you and hope this quilt brings you comfort and cheer when you need it. Thank you for your service and sacrifice.
And now, the WCCB returns with some exhilarating music by American composer Kataj Copley. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails. Halcyon Hearts is an ode to love and how it affects us all. Halcyon denotes a time where a person is ideally happy or at peace. So in short, Halcyon Hearts is about the moment of peace when one finds their love or passion. The piece centers around major seventh interval and warm colors to represent the warmth that love brings us. The introduction, which is sudden and colorful, symbolizes the feeling of unexpected journey it takes to find love. Using the colors and natural energy of the ensemble, we create the sound of ambition and passion throughout the work. No matter what race, gender, religion, nationality, or love, we are all united with the common thread of passion from the heart. This piece was written in dedication to those who love regardless of negativity in the world and do not allow hate and prejudice to guide the way we live our lives. Always choose love, and the halcyon days will come. Our veterans fight for our country and the certain unalienable rights that we are entrusted with under the Constitution of the United States of America: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So here now is Director Micah Laird and the West Central Concert Band with Kataj Copley's Halcyon Hearts. And now, before concluding today's concert, here are a few acknowledgments and announcements. First, all veterans are invited to Ferris's annual and free Veterans Day breakfast, Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m., right here on the campus of Ferris State in the Iser Center Ballroom. We hope to see you there. Next, we'd like to thank the staff and student workers here in Williams Auditorium under the great leadership of Sarah Aker and Wes Thompson for their assistance in the production of today's concert. We'd also like to thank Jeff Gabalis for the wonderful multimedia presentation he's created for today's concert. Thanks, Jeff. Our gratitude also to John Milan of Preferred Office Machines in Big Rapids for printing and donating posters advertising today's program. Next, in addition, the remaining fall concerts that you'll see in your concert program, the WCCB will return with our annual and spectacular Symphonic Santa Sunday Family Holiday Concert on Sunday, December 7th at 4 p.m., which will feature our orchestra, concert choir, chamber groups, and of course, Santa Claus. Lastly, we'd like to give a final thanks to all the individuals and organizations that have participated in our Veterans Day concert today, including the band. Would all of today's participants please rise as we give you a big round of applause. And now, we offer our final musical tribute to our veterans today with a performance of John Philip Sousa's march, The Liberty Bell. For $500 more, this march probably would have been named The Devil's Deputy. Sousa was composing music for an operetta of that name at the request of celebrated comedian Francis Wilson. Sousa asked $1,500 for the work, but Wilson offered $1,000. When they could not come to an agreement, Sousa withdrew his partially completed manuscript, which included a lively march. Sousa and George Frederick Hinton, one of the band's managers, were in Chicago witnessing a spectacle called America when a backdrop with a huge painting of the Liberty Bell was lowered. Hinton suggested that the Liberty Bell would be a great title for Susan's new march. By coincidence, the next morning, Sousa received a letter from his wife in which he told how their son had marched in his first parade in Philadelphia, a parade honoring the return of the Liberty Bell, which had been on tour. The new march was then christened the Liberty Bell. Here's WCCB's finale selection for our 22nd annual Veterans Day concert, John Philip Sousa's Liberty Bell March.